and a very good morning to all our viewers. You're watching the morning news show here on CNN News 18. I'm Sakshi Singh Litoria here with your weekend dose of top headlines. It's the D-Day. It's that final day for that high voltage Panchayat poll elections for the state of West Bengal, which might become the deciding factor for BJP and TMC in the upcoming Lok Sabha elections next year. Now, amid tight security, the much-anticipated Bengal Panchayat polls is underway across the state. Now, if political gurus are to be believed, today's polls serve as a litmus test for 2024 parliamentary elections and hold the power to reshape the state's political landscape. Over 5 crore voters are likely to exercise their franchise to choose representatives for nearly 922 seats across 22 Zilla Parishads, over 9,000 Panchayat Samitis and 63,000 Gram Panchayat seats. Remember, the entire nomination and campaigning process witnessed political violence, arson and even deaths. Meanwhile, Bengal Governor C.V. Ananda Bose will visit North 24 Pargana, Basudevpur and Nadia today. I have CNN News 18's Pallavi Ghosh joining me live from Mednipur. Pallavi, a very good morning to you. Since we talked about that violence in the state that erupted much before this elections, could you please tell us what exactly is the condition on the ground?
So just to give you a sense of where I am, I'm in East Mednapur. This has also been one of the most badly affected areas, violent areas. There have been several, reports of TMC workers claiming that they've been attacked by the BJP and the Congress, and also happening otherwise. This is really on the way to Nandigram, which is essentially going to be my final destination. And there we know the fight is essentially between the BJP and the Trinamool Congress. And that was a political setback for Mamata Banerjee because she had lost her assembly elections from Nandigram. Now, to give a national perspective, why do these Panchayat elections become important, particularly in a state like West Bengal? Because this is the most grassroots polls, and that's where you begin from. Whoever captures the state level politics begins actually from the Panchayat elections. That's how the left works. That's how the Trinamool Congress also works. But this is also the point of biggest conflict between the BJP and the TMC. I think if you look ahead at the Lok Sabha elections of 2024, one of the main planks, I would say the twin planks on which the BJP is going to be working on is that of poll violence, and the second, of course, is corruption. The politics of intimidation, the politics of actually forcing people to end up voting for the Trinamool Congress. The BJP plans to use that for the 2024 Lok Sabha elections, and to make the point that people over here do not actually see real democracy. I'm going to try and get a sense from one of the persons over here. এখানটা অনেকবার বলে এখানটা ভায়োলেন্স হয়েছে, এই সব রিপোর্ট আমরা পূর্বে বিস্তারিত দেখেছি। उसके बावजूद আমি অনেক লম্বা লাইন দেখছি, তো লোকরা এখানে ভয় পায় না ভোট দিতে। शांति श्रृंखला वजह से यहाँ चुनाव होता है, पंचायत का वोट डाला जाता है। हिंदी में बोल रहे हैं, यहाँ कोई हमारा यहाँ तो लोग डरते नहीं हैं क्योंकि पूर्वी मिदनापुर में भी केस है। बिल्कुल डरते नहीं। हमारा यहाँ सेंट्रल फोर्स रखने का कोई फायदा हुआ नहीं। हमारा यहाँ तो सेंट्रल फोर्स का कोई दिखाई नहीं दे रहा है यहाँ इस बार पंचायत में। So that's also been one of the complaints. And to be very fair, there's just so much of those central forces which can be stretched. They've been basically concentrating on areas which are considered to be sensitive areas. Actually, and just to do a quick wrap, these elections become important because whatever may be the outcome, the fact remains is if there's going to be widespread political violence today, the BJP is certainly going to use it to its political advantage in the big run-up to the 2024 Lok Sabha elections.
Pallavi, I would request you to please hold on because I have Kamalika Sen Gupta joining me live from Bhangar as well. Kamalika, very good morning to you. Kamalika, since Pallavi also talked about that violence and arson that might erupt today as well, and we are learning that CAPF has been deployed. Could you give us more details about the security forces that have been deployed on the ground as well as the situation there in Bhangar?
See, obviously I'll give the details of the situation out here, but let me also brief you about what's happening till now in overall Bengal, since we are getting in very disturbing reports from Murshidabad district, where we are getting in Shamsherganj and in Rajinagar. There is an allegation that 2 people have died and both of them are Trinamool Congress, and also from another incidents of death. These are all reports coming in from our local local reporters there. In Coochbihar also there is one death, news coming in of one death in Tufanganj. Basically the start of the day in North Bengal is not very good. That's what we are getting it from the sources on ground. Right now we are standing in Lauhati. You can see the security situation. If we say there is an allegation from the opposition that the CAPF is not there in every booth, and it is indeed practically not possible because 61,000 booth is there, and in 61,000 booth CAPF in every booth giving CAPF is not practically possible, and because they are also not going to break down from half section. So basically you can see that there is a state police, an arms-based state police. So the theory that the High Court gave that 50-50 central police and state police, that's not happening, that's not possible on ground. So in 61,000 there is only 1/4 booth where we will be getting CAPF. But you can see that there is huge line, which is also the interesting part of democracy. इतने सुबह आप आए हैं वोट देने क्यों?
एक बार बोला है तो आपका हम खेती चाष कर रहे हैं, सुबह आता है। हाँ,
कोई डर
कोई डर नहीं, आराम से वोट देना जी।
और काफी महिलाएं भी आई हैं। मैडम आपसे एक बार फिर से पूछेंगे कि एकदम सुबह आने वोट देने का क्या मतलब है?
आराम से वोट दें।
मतलब in the morning it's always better to cast vote because as day proceeds a lot of things starts happening. But as far as security is concerned, the question which you asked, in entire Bengal 1/4 area CAPF, 1/4 booth CAPF will be there. We have one local candidate with us of Trinamool Congress. दादा ये बताइए कि बहुत सारे जगह ये allegation उठता है कि तृणमूल कांग्रेस झमेला करता है, बहुत से पूरे बंगाल में, आपका क्या कहना है?
सारा पब्लिक यहाँ पे खड़ा है, कोई आदमी पूछो जे यहाँ पे झमेला है कि नहीं। आई एम जाकिरुद्दीन गाजी, कॉन्स्टिट्यूट ऑफ चतपुर ग्राम पंचायत, पार्ट नंबर 192, कैंडिडेट ऑल इंडिया तृणमूल कांग्रेस।
सब जगह पे शांतिपूर्ण वोट होगा?
चतपुर अंचल में जितना 30टा बूथ है उसके कोई बूथ में ऐसे झमेला नहीं है। ओपोनेंट पार्टी जो है सब एक साथ में गला में रहते हैं एवं एक साथ में खाते हैं, पीते हैं एवं वोट देने का सबके बुलाता है।
So this is another interesting picture out here where you see where the candidate is saying that everybody they are together and there will be no problem and no violence here and vote will be peaceful. But we are not getting very good information from North Bengal that is concerning and as far as CAPF is concerned, and because this is a very important poll, this is the semi-finals to 2024. What amount of violence takes place today? Obviously the opposition is going to now see there he is the opposition candidate. Now, this is also a story. The Congress candidate and the CPI and the Trinamool candidate standing together. No problem. Both of you are friends?
Friend. कोई problem नहीं है।
So this is also where we always speak about violence, where we speak about the enmity. This is also a picture, a very interesting picture from Lauhati, Rajarhat, where both the candidates, they are together and they are saying there will be no violence. Let's hope the day will be like this. So another candidate, so all these candidates, they are standing together. This is also an interesting picture where we are not getting good reports from the other places. Here, all the candidates are together and they are saying there will be no violence.
Well, Kamalika, since you are there on the ground, could you please tell us more about the possible voters' turnout today?
See, it's more than 5 crore voters in all over West Bengal, and in Bengal, as you can see the big line behind me, people, even if they are very old, even they can't walk, they come to cast their vote. But the thing is that if there is peace, then definitely there will be bigger lines, and people will really come to cast their vote if there is peace. So definitely, as in this booth where we are standing in Lauhati, there from the morning you can see big line is there. So voter turnout has always been, the percentage of voter turnout has always been very good in Bengal, and that's what been from today morning also the same picture is seen here. So if it's peaceful, then large number of voter turnout in every area should take place. But if violence takes place, then only the voter turnout may be less. But vote is very important for each and every person in Bengal. So generally there is a higher voter turnout always.
Well, Kamalika and Pallavi, I would request you to please hold on because we have some latest breaking news coming in on the same. Now, according to the TMC, a shocking incident has come to the fore in Nadia's Hanskali block merely hours before the commencement of the crucial Panchayat polls. Now, on Friday night, BJP cadre brutally thrashed AITC worker Tapan Ghosh on the streets in Gazna Gram Panchayat without any provocation. Now, the miscreants have been identified as Biswanath Ghosh, Gautam Ghosh, Amit Ghosh, Bharat Ghosh, Dev Kumar Ghosh and Lab Kumar Ghosh. So it's a big breaking news coming in right ahead of the commencement of that crucial polls today. I have CNN News 18's Kamalika Sen Gupta, who continues to be with me on the broadcast. Kamalika, could you give us more details about this incident that happened last night?
See, this is an allegation that has come up from the Trinamool Congress in Nadia. Now, Nadia is also a very sensitive area and it's near to the border. So they are saying that their workers there, they have been brutally, they have been injured, they have been attacked. That's what the Trinamool Congress allegation is, and results in which so many people of Trinamool Congress are injured. But BJP has totally denied this. That is there. On the other hand, not only in Hashkali, also from Nandigram, there is an allegation of Trinamool Congress that their candidate has been taken up. Not only that, there is also an allegation from Murshidabad from Trinamool Congress. So, couple of allegations are coming in, and obviously the counter, the BJP is also allegation is coming up also from various districts. So this allegation and counter allegation, and this incident, as you can see, there has been an attack and it's very injury is bad. So this type of allegation and counter allegation has started from the morning, and what we are getting it from the local source. Again, I would like to stress that in Murshidabad, Shamsherganj, there has been bombing all through the nights, and there also in Rani Nagar, there is reports of one TMC workers getting killed is coming. So clearly, North Bengal, it's not very good news. But and also Nadia, these incidents are coming. Lot of incidents are happening in various districts. That's what we are getting it from the sources on ground.
Well, Kamalika, I would request you to hold on because I have to reiterate on that breaking piece of information that you just gave us, that immense bombing actually took place in Murshidabad, Shamsherganj ahead of this crucial polling. I have CNN News 18's Kamalika, who continues to be with me on the broadcast. Kamalika, since you were talking about the bombing that took place in Murshidabad, please could you give us more details about that as well?
This is in Shamsherganj in Murshidabad, where a couple of days this Shamsherganj was violent, and what we are getting in from the ground is that there has been immense bombing all through the night in Shamsherganj, and a lot of shops and lot of vehicles have been destroyed and vandalized, and the clashes between TMC and Congress took place. Remember, Murshidabad is a place where Congress and TMC is eye to eye there. So basically now huge police force has gone there, but still now there are bombs openly. There are bombs in various places in the roads that's there, and entire night this bombing has taken place. That's what we are getting it from the ground. So Shamsherganj really a very not very good news from the morning. So from the morning, Murshidabad is not giving good news.
Well, Kamalika, I would request you to please hold on because my next question is for Pallavi Ghosh, who continues to be with us on the broadcast. Pallavi, compared to the previous polls, how many seats are uncontested for this election? And since we talked about this going to be a litmus test for BJP and TMC for the upcoming Lok Sabha elections as well, how crucial are these elections?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Pallavi, can you hear me?
What we were essentially then talking about, and a short while back, with something even Kamalika was talking about, and you can see the sporadic lines so far. It certainly is peaceful. This is, as I was talking about, to give you a sense, Purbi Midnapur, East Midnapur, and I'm on my way to Nandigram. And that is where a bit of an action is expected because that's Suvendu Adhikari's area. More than that, we do know of reports of, say, an inner tug of war between within the Bengal BJP, and therefore Suvendu Adhikari will also have to prove, and something which the TMC has always accused him of, and his win over there as being a flash in the pan. What essentially the BJP and Suvendu Adhikari more so, I would say, Sakshi, will have to prove is that it's not a flash in the pan. He has been able to strengthen the organization at the grassroots level. Look at almost every state politics, the grassroots elections really matter. If you look at the history of Bengal, it's even more so. Whether it was the left earlier or whether it's the Trinamool Congress now, whoever has a control over the Panchayat, the Zilla Parishad, is believed to have a control over the state politics as well. And state politics, of course, but naturally leads up to the national level politics. In the last Lok Sabha elections, the BJP, considering that they don't have a very strong organization in the state, had done surprisingly extremely well. BJP also would want to prove that that was not a flash in the pan. Many say that there were certain miscalculations which were made by Mamata Banerjee in the last Panchayat elections, which actually helped the BJP do well in the Lok Sabha elections of 2019. Clearly, the strategy of the BJP is very simple, using a relatively good performance at the Panchayat level. If the TMC sweeps the Panchayat elections, and if there's a reports of violence across the state, as they already have started pouring in, that the BJP will make the point that a corrupt Mamata Banerjee government, emboldened by the violence that they unleash on the ground, ensures that there is a death of democracy in the state. These are going to be the two main pitches of the BJP for the Lok Sabha elections, and thereby they would certainly want to better their performance from last time round. Now, as far as the Trinamool Congress is concerned, equally the challenge for them is to show, one, that the ground is not shaken, certainly not in Nandigram where Mamata Banerjee lost by a whisker. And second, there is no incident of poll violence. So I think that challenge is also going to be on the Trinamool Congress and on Mamata Banerjee to try and prove that there's been not much of violence. It was a needless bringing in of the central forces. And therefore, the TMC also needs to ensure that at least in the upcoming Lok Sabha elections of 2024, they are able to put up with a very good performance and not give that edge to the BJP. And very quickly, Sakshi, in the midst of all of this, is an emboldened Congress plus left alliance. As we know that recently they had one of the by-polls in Murshidabad area, but unfortunately for them, that lone MLA which would have entered on a Congress ticket actually joined the Trinamool Congress. So the Congress plus left emboldened also shows the contradiction, the larger idea of opposition unity, because the left Congress alliance is in complete opponent to the TMC alliance.
Well, Pallavi, since you talked about left parties as well, could you tell me where does exactly ISF stand, or is it just a neck-to-neck fight between BJP and TMC? Also, Pallavi, we are learning that Governor C.V. Ananda Bose is also there on the ground today to, sort of manage the ground situation. Could you give us more details about that as well?
So we know that the governor, for example, has been traveling to many of those what he calls the violent affected areas, and he has actually reached out not just to the BJP workers who have been targeted, but also to families of the Trinamool Congress workers as well. The point which the governor has been making is that as the head of the government really over here, head of the state really over here, I'm not going to be any tolerant of violence. It's a zero tolerance zone. This has something which has been countered by the Trinamool Congress. We have been hearing TMC leaders like Kunal Ghosh actually accusing him of violating the norms of democracy or of acting as a political agent of the BJP. That's as far as the one particular situation is concerned, as far as the governor's visit across some of the pockets in the state is concerned.
Well, Pallavi, what are exactly going to be the major challenges in front of BJP and TMC as well? Because since we are reiterating on the fact that this is going to be a litmus test for both the parties for the upcoming Lok Sabha elections, apart from the security situations there in the state.
See, the party which is in power at the state level does have that edge, and that edge is essentially of organization. That organization is very good on the ground. And in fact, when I was trying to come over here, I saw a larger number of Trinamool Congress flags fluttering more than, say, the BJP, and almost none, at least over here, as far as the Congress is concerned. The challenge really for the BJP has been in terms of organization. They have a very weak organization. They're trying to strengthen it. We saw those organizational changes, for example, taking place as far as the BJP BJP state unit is concerned, there's also a tug of war. There's also a tussle which is taking place within the BJP over here, which is definitely has an impact as far as the organizational strength is concerned. As I head into Nandigram, which is a Suvendu Adhikari territory, over there, I think the challenge becomes even more. For him, it is going to be very important to ensure that at least his party, that's the BJP, comes up with a winner of a performance, or at least does very well. Because he's an MLA from there, and the way the BJP runs, no excuses will be accepted. So that becomes a political challenge for him as far as the BJP in Nandigram is concerned. But if you're asking me about the entire state level, well, the BJP's calculation is that people vote differently at the state and the local level from the national level. Therefore, at the national level, they're going to build up this entire narrative about how there's poll violence, how there are cases of corruption. Some of the people considered to be extremely close to Mamata Banerjee, Partho Chatterjee, Anubrata Mondal, all of them are now behind bars. And that is a point which is BJP consistently makes when the Prime Minister or the Home Minister travels over here. They consistently make the point that, corruption comes so close to Mamata Banerjee. The fact also that there's an ED scanner on Abhishek Banerjee, who is seen as the heir apparent of Mamata Banerjee, is also another issue which the BJP has against the TMC. And they certainly hope that at the national level, the entire idea of a double engine ki sarkar, that here is a corrupt government, one which intimidates the voters. And you can see the lines essentially kind of increasing behind me. And as expected, is large number of women who are actually voting over here. These are the calculations which the BJP is working upon.
Well, Pallavi, I would request you to please hold on because we have some more breaking news coming in on the same as we are talking about the violence that has erupted in the state ahead of that crucial polls. Now, more violence is currently being reported in connection with the Bengal Panchayat polls. It is the case from Coochbihar that one incident of a TMC worker killed in Tufanganj of Coochbihar. Then there was a second incident of BJP workers being attacked in Tufanganj. Two BJP workers were severely injured in this attack. Then in Murshidabad also, as we were talking earlier, now Babar Ali, a TMC worker, was reported to be killed in Beldanga, Kapsadanga last night. He was sitting in a tea shop. He was attacked suddenly. Satharuddin Sheikh, Khargram, Murshidabad TMC worker killed today at 3 a.m. in the morning, and TMC points the finger at the Congress expectedly. I have CNN News 18's Kamalika Sen Gupta, who continues to be with me on the broadcast. Kamalika, could you please give us more details about this incident?
See, this has happened in Khargram. You remember, Khargram is the place in Murshidabad where the very first day of nomination also there were incidents. So these are all very sensitive areas, and in Murshidabad specifically, Congress though does not have a presence all over Bengal, but in Murshidabad, since it's Adhi's bastion, Adhi Chaudhry's bastion, and he have been there. So there the direct fight is between Trinamool Congress and Congress. So there from the morning what we are seeing that there are a couple of incidents, like yesterday night, Shamsherganj is also an area in Murshidabad where entire night bombing took place. And what we are getting is that there are a couple of incidents where the TMC workers are killed, like this one and like also in Tufanganj. Oppositions are also opposition. They are injured. Reports of shooting that are coming up. Like we are getting one information also from Murshidabad that one CPIM candidate, she has been shot. So a couple of incidents are coming, but it is very significant that in couple of places we are seeing that the Trinamool workers, they are getting killed. So that's a very significant point. So from the morning, news coming in from North Bengal, specifically in Murshidabad, this is a Congress bastion. So though Congress does not have, as Pallavi was also mentioning, Congress does not have any seat in assembly. They won one seat and that person also went to Trinamool Congress. But here on ground we are seeing that from the nomination time, Murshidabad is becoming violent because there has been a Congress resistance and the fight is between Congress and Trinamool Congress there. So specific, and Coochbihar is a BJP bastion. Like BJP did well there, and that's why it's a place of MOS home Nishit Pramanik. So number of incidents are coming in from Coochbihar too, because in both the sides there is the equals are fighting there. So the allegations are against BJP, the allegations are against TMC also. In Tufangan also what we are getting, that a Trinamool worker has been killed, and subsequently we are getting that BJP people have been heavily injured. So allegation, counter allegation, denial, these things are there. and as I'm talking to you, governor is reaching in various areas of North 24 Parganas. So clearly not a very good start, but definitely we will hope that, like in this booth where we saw that number of candidates, they are together. There will be these pictures also. People on ground want peaceful election, but will Bengal give a peaceful election is a big question, and that is going to definitely have its impact on 2024 elections.
Pallavi, coming next to you, since on one hand the opposition is talking about unity, but on the other hand, since these violence have erupted ahead of this crucial polls in the state, TMC and Congress are sort of at loggerheads. What do you have to say about that?
Well, I mean, that's the contradiction. I did speak to Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary a few days back, and, Murshidabad, he's a member of parliament from Berhampur, Murshidabad. And he's in fact, I would say the strongest word person standing against Mamata Banerjee. In fact, he is believed to have been instrumental in the left Congress alliance when he convinced Rahul Gandhi before the last Lok Sabha election that left is the way to go and rather go around with the Trinamool Congress. And he's always made the point in all his feedback to the Gandhis that an alliance with the TMC is going to be like an alliance with the Aam Aadmi Party. Both these political parties will gobble you up. And therefore, it is best to carve your own territory. Look, when the Congress formed an alliance with the left was visibly weakened. So for the Congress, it was seen as a situation where you go along with a weak coalition partner and therefore you strengthen yourself. Frankly speaking, that's not really happened beyond Murshidabad. That only ray of hope when you had was when they won that one lone assembly seat. That also has not worked out with them. But if you talk at a national picture, I still remember when the MLA, the lone MLA of the Congress who had won, and he was joining the TMC, Jairam Ramesh had tweeted to make the point that you talk about opposition unity on one hand, and remember, Mamata Banerjee certainly has been one of the architects and a person who's thought behind of an opposition unity. But on this, you go on, taking our people in. So what kind of an opposition unity are you really talking about? These contradictions will always be there, Sakshi.
Okay. Pallavi, thank you so much for bringing in all those crucial details. I'd like to thank Kamalika as well for joining me live from Bhangar and bringing in all those crucial details. Well, it's a busy day. We'll bring you more latest updates on that crucial Panchayat polls in the state of West Bengal. Stay with us. But for now, it's time for me to wrap up. Thanks for watching.